Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you are a first-time visitor, welcome and thank you. In this video I'm going to share with you some vintage items that I found while I was out thrifting today. Let's start with this amazing catalog book. Isn't this awesome? We have 12 issues for the Antiques magazine, and these are all 1958 issues from January to December, basically bound in this gorgeous binder. Isn't this stunning? Look at it. Ooh, heavy. It's a beautiful green binder, and it is in great condition. So as I said, inside the binder are 12 issues of the Antiques magazine, and these are all for 1958. See right there, 1958. Love that I got an entire year bound in one binder, and I love these magazines. I have some of these magazines from different years and not nearly in this good shape, but I love. Did I say love? That was January. Here's February. I mean, these magazines are amazing. Or I should say catalogs, right? 1958, the entire year. Here's March. Let's turn this over. I love the images in here. Here's April. Love this. May. I love June. Look at June. How awesome would it be to fussy cut these out and make some gorgeous either ephemera, tuck spots, or they would make beautiful covers for a journal. Gorgeous. Here's July. August. The magazines are in great shape too. As I said, I have some of these and they are in pretty bad shape. But these right here are in amazing condition. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? The covers of each of these catalogs itself would make amazing. This would make an amazing journal cover. Absolutely amazing. Or a nice mixed media project if you fussy cut this chair out. Beautiful. This is September. October. And then here we have November. $1 is what you would be paying for these way back when. Here we have a beautiful, this is awesome, an order card. Can pull that out. This would make a great pocket in a journal. That's awesome. Look at that. Beautiful. And then here we have December. This rooster is speaking to me. I need to do something with that rooster. So I found this beauty at an antique, what do they call that? Market, antique market that I visited today. The reason I'm I spend a lot of time at antique markets is because my mother-in-law has quite a few vintage antique items like buttons, fabric, books, you name it. And she is usually a seller at these antique market fairs that I go to. And I usually go to help her set up and pack up. So it's a great opportunity for me to not only help her out, but to visit all the other vendors. And this particular one I went to today, I've been to before. She does it the first Sunday of every month. So, I should say the first weekend of every month. So I go the first weekend of every month, and I check out all of the vendors, and you actually do see the same vendors at these spots. So it's pretty cool to see them and get to know them. So I love visiting all their tables, and I found this at the table right across from her, and the price was just amazing. A better price is free. And the next stack of books that I actually got for free from also a vendor that was set up near her. She had this box of books out, and when I asked her how much for each book, she said free. So I went through and I picked out, I was trying not to be selfish. I was trying, but I ended up taking all the really nice hardcover books, which she didn't mind, and her husband really didn't mind because he didn't want to pack them back up. But let me share with you what I picked up. This book is from 1969, and it is Art of the World. Beautiful hardcover book, in excellent condition. They were a little dusty, so I did wipe them down. But look at the inside. How beautiful. Really fun illustrations. Great book. This is just gorgeous. Definitely pick this book up for sure. For sure. It would make a great, the cover itself would make a great journal. And the book block, the block of pages on the inside, would make amazing envelopes, ephemera, you name it. But it'll be a while before I get around to this book, but I picked it up nonetheless. Absolutely love that book. Another book was this one. This book is just awesome. The jacket is rough. The jacket is rough, but the book itself, look at how gorgeous this book is. Absolutely gorgeous. Such a cute little size. It's actually in French, and it's a book about, from what I gather, from a book about different mosaics. Mostly seem to be religious in nature, like saints and whatnot. And this book is from 1954, and these pages are beautifully aged. Aren't they gorgeous? And they're not at all fragile, and they look to me to be in French, from what I can tell, I think. So you only get, I think it's 15 or 16, looks like 15 pages of text in this book, and the rest is over, wow, it's close to, let's see, it's 192 pages of these beautiful, absolutely gorgeous illustrations. I got this for free. So these would just make amazing, amazing, amazing covers for any number of things. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the back of this book, you have about, I would say probably around 10 pages of these fold-outs, which give you a little information about each of the artworks that are featured in the book. So that's really amazing. Such an amazing book. And it's in great condition except for the jacket. The cover is rough. This paper jacket that covers the hardcover is rough, but the book itself is absolutely gorgeous. And I think would make a wonderful, wonderful journal as well. And again, free. Here's another free book. This one, look at the cover. Beautiful. Beautiful. History of Nations. This is the Memorial Edition. And I want to say this was, if I remember correctly, 69, but let me confirm that. Nope, 1939. And this is from, obviously she picked it up from probably a book sale from the local library here in our town. And again, the pages are beautifully aged. Yeah, this is from the Northport Library. Such a great book. You have some illustrations, but I was more drawn to the cover itself, which cleaned up beautifully. So excited about that one. Here's another. This one actually had a little surprise in it. This was also free. Eleanor of Aquitaine. Aquitaine, I think. The inside of this book is absolutely gorgeous. Here we have a map of the continental, what is that? Aegean Empire and of the French domain. Ooh, I probably butchered that, but I tried. And again, the pages in this book are beautifully aged. And look what was tucked away in this book. This awesome vintage postcard. Isn't it gorgeous? I was trying to read this. It looked like someone started to write down a passage. I'm not sure if it's from this book, but then stopped midway. Didn't even complete the thought and crossed out the last half dozen lines, or I should say words, and left it at that. But isn't that beautiful? That was a nice surprise. That was tucked inside the book. Didn't even realize that was there until I brought it home. Look at these illustrations of the different castles. Can cut that out and make some awesome ephemera. I mean, the end game for these books at some point is to transform them into journals, but I have so many books that it'll be a while before I get to any of these books. So in the meantime, they will make beautiful display pieces on my bookshelf. Here we have medieval art. I was super excited about this book. I love anything medieval. And then I took the jacket itself. It's, you know, it's in okay condition. It's a little rough. But then you get to the book and oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. Look how gorgeous this book is. And it was free. So this is from, let's see, what year was this one? 1937, printed in the US. Isn't she beautiful? My God, look at that gold reflecting back. Absolutely stunning. And like I said, I didn't pay a single penny for this book. In the back, you have some pullouts. These are just amazing. Synoptic tables. That's what's in the back. You have illustrations scattered throughout. I mean, love everything about this book. A lot of illustrations. You can imagine, it's a book about art. Illustrations are stunning. So super excited when I got that book. She was so funny because I was really being deliberate in, you know, picking up the book, looking through the book and deciding whether or not I wanted to take it. And she was like, girl, it's free, just take it. But I really don't want to bring in too much stuff into my craft room that I don't intend on using, because that's, you know, the fastest way to become overwhelmed with stuff in your room. This is the final book that I got for free. This one is Medieval Culture. So apparently, because I did ask her, why do you have so many books about art? Especially, she had quite a few books on medieval art and culture, and she said that she just finished her, oh gosh, I forgot what level of degree. I don't know. I think she said master's. See, I don't remember what she said, but she was studying basically art, and her focus was medieval art and culture. So that's why a lot of her books were on this topic. So lucky for me, she finished her studies and just wanted nothing else to do with her books, so she put them out. I think it was more her husband not wanting to deal with them anymore. And they were a much, much older couple. I would say she was probably in her something like 60s. So I was a little surprised when she said that she had just finished her studies. And I guess I shouldn't have been, but you know, that's rude on my part, thinking, you know, why at that age would you even want to study? But you know, that's my ignorance. But like I said, I benefited because I ended up with all of these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful books. This cover is gorgeous. And this one is, let's see, what year is this one? 1966. 1966, not a lot by way of illustration, but it was free, and I love the cover itself. And I love the subject matter, so why not? So that was the last of the free items. So on my way out, visited this one table that had a lot of like vintage type games sitting at his table, and I found some really awesome ones that I picked up. I picked up a total of 4 games. So this is super vintage. It's Game of Authors. It's from the 1915. So look at the cover. Absolutely gorgeous. That is beautiful. Okay, and I already sorted through it. The instructions for the games are on the inside of the box, and essentially what you're doing here is the object of the game is to complete books, and at the end of the game, the number with the player with the greatest number of completed books is the winner. And the way you complete a book is by collecting 4 cards, 4 same cards. So for example, you have 4 Edgar Allan Poe cards, you have 4 Charles Dickens cards, you have 4 of each author. And when you collect all 4, I have like the weirdest accent today. When you collect all 4, let's try that again. When you collect all 4 of the author cards, then that is a completed book. That's what I figured out so far. So again, I have Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, aren't these amazing? William Shakespeare. The illustrations are awesome. Snowbound is the name of the book. It's John Greenleaf Whittier. Oh my gosh. Nathaniel Hawthorne, The Scarlet Letter. It's just amazing. You have Tennyson, Stevenson. The illustrations are awesome. There are 2 different styles of cards in here. So I'm wondering if, I know that these are the ones that are original to the game, because once I brought it home, I did some research on it. And from what I saw in the images of this game, these This set of 24 seems to be original to the game. This set of 24, I can't tell. I didn't find any images that included, I didn't find any images of the game that included images of these particular cards. So I'm wondering if this is from a separate set and made their way in here. But these are definitely original to the game. I went through, sorted the cards, separated them, and put them in these protective sleeves because I'm OCD like that. But these are the cards that are original to this particular. Charles Dickens there as well. I mean, these cards are just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Stevenson, Joseph Conrad. I mean, just beautiful. So each of these decks has 24 cards. This deck right here is definitely part of this game. I'm not sure about this one. Not sure about this one. But from the research that I did, this is from the circa 1915. So that's that game. Another game I picked up was one called Spelling and Acronyms. And I'm sorry, not acronyms, my goodness. Spelling and Anagrams. Now, I was a little annoyed with him because he'd put a price tag right on the box, right there. So when I was being super careful to peel off the price tag. It was like this bright orange, ridiculous, stupid price tag. And I don't understand how anyone who deals in selling anything vintage would label his items that way. I was just like, appalled. My heart was hurting when I saw everything on his table had these obnoxious stickers, and I kindly, politely told him that he should find an alternate method for, you know, pricing his items, because that's really not good for these vintage items. Or if you're going to stick a tag, stick it on the back, not in the front, because look what happened. I was so sad. But anyway, this is vintage circa 1930s from my research, and is actually a complete set. So what you get here is 216 block letters and no instructions. So I don't know how to play the game. But I thought that these block letters would be awesome for mixed media, ATCs, journaling, you name it. They are absolutely beautiful little block letters. Good quality, super thick. Very much have that vintage flavor vibe going, right? So, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I'm just really, that just breaks my heart. That was just sad. So sad. So that, as I said, is circa 1930s. This one was fun. This is, I saw this illustration and I knew it was coming home with me. This is also vintage from my research. This is from 1940s to 1950s. And I'm not sure how to play Snap. There's supposed to be 45 cards in this set, right? So I'm assuming that's 44 for the game itself plus the instruction card. 45 total. There are 44. What seems to be missing from this set is the instruction card. So I don't know how to play Snap, but the illustrations are gorgeous. You get 4 each of 11 different illustrations. They are absolutely the cutest, and they have like these little rhymes. Here we have Danny Duck's a snappy fella when he carries an umbrella. So, I mean, you get 4 of each card. Wee, cries little Buster Bear, sipping through the snappy air. So, I mean, these are just, the illustrations are gorgeous. A snappy tune from Freddie Frog playing piano on a log. So, I mean, you get 4 of each one, and there are 11 of them. So that's 44. So I'm assuming that 45th card would be the instructions on how to play the game. And I got a pretty good deal on all of these. I bundled them up, and he gave me a pretty decent price for all 4. And especially since I brought them home and did a little research, I know I definitely got my money's worth. Aren't these awesome? I'm thinking maybe I want to break this up and make 11 sets. Or I should say 4 sets of 11 and sell them in my Etsy shop. I don't know. I'm not, something I'm thinking about. Haven't done it. Don't know when I'm going to do it, but pretty awesome. And that one is called Snap. Snap. That's pretty cool. So let's close that up very carefully. He had a price tag on that one too. I managed to get the price tag off 3 of the 4 without damaging the package. It was on that spelling and anagrams that the package was damaged, and I was like a little distraught. This one is called Flinch. This, from my research, is 1915. I don't know how to play Finch, but this was absolutely amazing. Look, here's a perfect example. You see how he put the price tag on the bottom? I mean, sure, believe me when I tell you I was not going to pay no $10, number one. But number two, why put something this obnoxious on the top of your packages, which is what he did for everything? This one's the only one that had one on the bottom. He was a little, I would say more than a little, overpriced. I guess he's one of those aim high and see what happens. So, which is why I want to carefully peel this off. Why I bundled, there, that came off. Still damaged it a little bit, but it's not as obvious. Why I bundled quite a few items together and got the much better deal, because $10 for one game. Although my research on this is that the resale value is about 25 bucks. So I guess he wasn't as high priced as I thought he was. But you know, when you thrifting, you're used to paying, you know, not so much. So $10 was like pretty high up there for one item. But anyway, like I said, at the end he gave me a great deal. But this is the box that it comes in. Super cute, vintage. This is definitely a complete set. You get, how much was it? I think there's 150 cards in here. 150 plus the brand card, plus this one actually has the rules for playing the game, and this is super fragile, super fragile. This paper, I mean, is just falling apart. I'm not even going to try to unfold it again. Every time I try to open it, it just rips more and more. So I think what I'm probably going to do is scan this to try to at least preserve the instructions and on how to play. But you definitely, you got your instructions, you got your brand card, your trademark card, and then you got 150 of these awesome amazing cards. Each of them has a number and a mirror of that number. I don't know anything about this game, but how many do you get of each one? 1, 2, 3. I think it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. 10 of each card. So this would be awesome for if you do your journaling. This is good for your dailies, for making ATCs, journaling. Just great all around, great cards, and 150 of them. Woo, woo. That's a pretty nice deal. So let's see, can I get this back in here? My gosh. Yeah. Really nice. It's so funny because he really didn't know what to do himself. When I took 4 of the items and I put them together, I said, okay, I'm going to do a bundle. What's the best price you can do? And make it so I don't walk away. And the first price he threw at me, I said, okay, well, it was really sweet. Enjoy your games. And I walked away. And he came back and got me. He's like, okay, okay, okay. And that's when I got the great price. I don't like haggling at these events because I feel, you know, especially today it wasn't crowded. And I knew they probably, it wasn't going to be the best, I don't know, the best end result for all of the sellers because there wasn't a lot of traffic. But at the same time, I didn't want to pay $10. He had each of his games. I'll tell you how he had them priced. He had each of the games priced for $10, and then he had the snap game priced for $5. So all 1, 2, 3, 4 games would have been $35. I didn't pay anywhere near $35, though he tried me. I just didn't want to pay $35 for them. And they were sitting there all day. I was watching them all day. So I knew he wasn't going to sell them. So nobody was interested in them. I was the only one. So I waited towards, you know, until the end of the day. Bought them, came home, did some research, and basically found out that this one here has a value of somewhere between $30–$35. This one has about a value of $10. This one has about a value of $20 to $30, depending on the condition. And this one, the same thing. I saw one of these that had like some ridiculous price of $200 on it, but that was like, that was oddball out. Most of the listings that I saw for these were averaging somewhere between like $25 to $35 plus shipping. So I think I did really, really, really well. So don't know why I got into pricing there, but I figured I would just share with you all since I took the time to research it, right? Do you do that? Sometimes, you know, not sometimes, all the time. When I go thrifting and I buy items, it's usually with the intention of breaking them up or repurposing them. But before I do that, I do a little research on the item to make sure that I'm not like getting rid of or, you know, destroying some kind of like priceless something or another. And I only had one time where I purchased a book for like $1 at a church sale, brought it home, and it turns out it was worth like, you know, $150. Needless to say, I didn't cut that book apart. It's upstairs. Yeah, I'm not allowed to break that book up. So my husband tells me. But that's where we are. That's my entire share on my little vintage thrifting. Thank you for watching, my friends. I truly do appreciate it. And let me know, what do you think about the idea of breaking these up and maybe selling them in smaller groups so that more people can enjoy them and use them in their journals? I mean, when am I going to use 150 flinch playing cards? But if I break that up and put it in an Etsy shop, you know, then a lot of people can enjoy the flinch cards. I don't know. Your thoughts would be appreciated. I will catch you all in the next video, my friends. Until next time, bye bye.